Chapter 5. The Shadow of the Teacher, the False Architect. You have struck the tuning fork. You have illuminated the doorway. The student has stepped through. Now comes the most dangerous phase of the transmission. Not for the student, but for you. Teachers are not immune to the gray city. Its most deceptive trap is not failure, but authority. When a student looks at you with realization in their eyes, the room changes. If you are not anchored at 0.0 degrees, that admiration can quietly smuggle the gray city right back into your marrow. If you do not audit your own shadow, you do not become a master. You simply become a Bob wearing Artutex clothing. The rot of the spiritual ego, the savior complex, believing you are responsible for the student's success. If you feel the need to rescue them from their own failures, you are stealing their friction. The attachment to being needed. If your sense of purpose relies on a student requiring your guidance, you are feeding on their dependence rather than cultivating their strength. The attachment to being right. Arguing with a student to prove your intellectual superiority is the ego begging for validation. The law does not need you to defend it. The addiction to admiration. If you teach to be praised, your frequency has collapsed. The assignment of the work. The true test of your shadow occurs the moment you hand the student their first practice. A wake time, a fast, a breathing protocol. Do it with genuine detachment. A Bob wearing Artutex clothing acts like a manager. They check homework. They ask, "Did you do it?" They praise obedience and scold failure. This creates a master and subject dynamic, shifting the student's focus from their own alignment to seeking your approval. The sovereign teacher hands the student the blueprint and steps back. You deliver it plainly. You trust their own posture to tell them, over time, whether it's working, and you remain available if they want to talk about it, without hovering. The sovereign audit of the instructor. Ask yourself this after every transmission. If this student walks away today and never speaks my name again, does my verticality remain intact? If the answer is no, you are leaning. You have made the cathedral about you rather than the law. The ultimate goal of the sovereign teacher is obsolescence. You are building a parallel pillar. Once the stone is set, the scaffolding must be removed. Chapter 6. The Perimeter of the Word. In your own ascent, the fox taught you to defend your physical and energetic space. The circle in the ash, the torus field. As a teacher, you carry that same steadiness into how you receive what a student brings you. When a student misses a practice and returns with an explanation, they are not attacking your perimeter. They are telling you something. Your task is to listen well enough to tell the difference between information and avoidance, without assuming the worst of them. The difference between an excuse and a report. The report, information. My child was taken to the hospital. This is a fact of the world. Facts are welcome, and you adjust the plan around them without judgment. The excuse, avoidance. I didn't do it because I wasn't feeling it. This is worth naming gently, not punishing. You can say plainly, the practice didn't happen. What got in the way? And actually listen to the answer. A good teacher learns to tell these apart quickly and responds to a report with warmth and a plan, and to an excuse with honest curiosity rather than silence as punishment. You are not trying to make anyone feel the weight of their own illusion. You are trying to help them see clearly, which is a kinder and slower thing. Chapter 7. The Alchemical Union, the Geometry of Creation. To guide a student toward their full potential, the sovereign teacher understands a working myth about how a life gets built. You are not teaching them to improve their habits. You are teaching them the mechanics of creation as this system understands it. The drop from the lake above. Imagine an original, still lake. From this stillness, a single drop falls toward the earth. This drop is the mother, pure feeling, saturated with potential, but no structure yet. It is the raw material of a life, waiting to be shaped. The strike of the angles of light. As the drop lands, it is met by the Father, the Son, striking the earth at specific, steady angles. Where structure meets pure potential, something new becomes possible. Grass grows, a life takes shape, a person becomes capable of walking out of the mud. The master matchmaker. A student who feels stuck has often separated the sun from the water. Living in the dry, overexpanded branches of the brain, disconnected from feeling, or drowning in feeling with no structure to hold it. Your task is not to fix them. It is to help the father come down and the mother come up, until both meet at the center of their own chest. The pedagogy of duality. This is why the Cyrus recall is built as two columns, the mother and the father, on every page. It's not a design choice. It's the whole teaching in miniature. Most people are pulled toward one side and starved of the other. If a student is flooded with feeling and no structure, bring rhythm, boundaries, and gentle routine, not more emotional processing. If a student is rigid, brittle, and over-controlled, bring softness, stillness, and permission to feel, not more rules. At the center of every duality sits the recall, the point where a person is neither swept away by feeling nor frozen by discipline, but whole.